This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Greg Anderson is joining us. He is from Newman Grove, Nebraska, but he also serves on the governing board of the National Biodiesel Board. One of the things you look at, and especially for MBB, is looking at biodiesel and what the soy checkoff has done, but looking at the return on investment on what that has been able to do for the industry.
The soybean checkoff has established the biodiesel industry in the United States through the farmer's checkoff dollar years ago, and now the checkoff continues to help biodiesel advance through promotional activities as well as funding technical projects to keep it in the forefront of the original equipment manufacturers to city municipalities and fleets that might have questions about using it to whatever application. And for the farmer, as myself, as well as the Kansas farmers, we can be confident in knowing that biodiesel brings about 63 cents back per bushel for every bushel that we grow, and it also uses a lot of soybean oil. We're producing so much soybeans now, some 90 million acres per year, over a 4 billion bushel crop. That's 22 billion pounds of soybean oil that we have to have a market for. And with the food application maybe leveling off or plateauing, more of this needs to go into industrial uses, and biodiesel has been a great market for that to happen.
And you've seen those markets open up as well, fleet vehicles, bigger cities who are willing to look at it.
For example, a big success story, New York City passed a 5% B5 mandate now throughout the boroughs, throughout the townships, throughout that region. With heating oil now coming on and a cold winter predicted for the Northeast area, we're seeing a market 300 to 400 million gallons of biodiesel being used. We didn't even dream that would be possible 10 years ago. Out in the West Coast, California is going to become the number one biodiesel user and now be approved with B20 with CARB. And in the Midwest, soybean farmers can be very proud of their checkoff being hard at work, providing that impetus for that to get going, and now become really biodiesel is our number one customer for soybean oil. That's just huge.
With that future being so bright as well in so many phases.
We're looking at targeting many other applications. You look at the marine place where they need to have safe fuel around water, so the marine applications with boats. You look at underground mines and the clean air that needs to be had there. But I think the thing that has built biodiesel has been the trucking industry, certainly. I know in my state, Nebraska, we're seeing many retailers offering it on blending pumps and now available to the truckers who didn't have it available before. And that's happening all over the country.
That is Greg Anderson, who serves on the governing board of the National Biodiesel Board. He's been our guest on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Hope you enjoyed this week's Kansas Soybean Update. Stay with us after the break for more with Kyle Bauer and Terry O'Neill with the National Pork Board.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
All over the country, more and more communities are making the change to biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil, and the decision continues improving the health and welfare for millions of Americans while adding billions to our national economy.
What does a brighter, more sustainable future look like in our cities and towns, and how do we get there? When New York needed an alternative fuel source to reduce carbon emissions, the city found what it needed in biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil.